Yo, everyone. Everything. And today I kind of want to just talk about a topic that uh, I had a chat with one of my mentors, and it was quite interesting. And it's basically about planning for the decade or planning for decades. Because one thing that I've been implementing now is weekly and monthly OKRs, which is kind of like basically what OKRs is like. How do you want to? What are the goals, or what is this? What are the goals for or vision for the designated amount of time? So it could be a weekly objective, monthly objective. But I'm starting to wonder, like, it would be a lot more, it would be a lot more powerful when it comes to decades. Powerful, as in you can turn whatever's in here into reality. Um, and the main point was, or the main point here is, don't set the goals first, set the vision first. Then you set the goals. So basically, what's the final destination, or what's this cloudy destination, or this um yeah, think of it as like a north star, like this buzzy cloud. What's this vision that you want to do? And then whatever you do to get there, whether it's projects, whether it's goals or stuff like that, that's like the journey to get there. So it's like a GPS, or like Waze, if you use Waze, to get around places. So with like any GPS, it's like, okay, you put in where you want to go, and then it'll give you a bunch of routes to get there. It could be infinite amount of routes if you think about it. But the thing is, like, that's how, at least for me, that's how I kind of see it is. Um, you do need to add in where you want to go, or where's this desired place, or this vision or this destination that you want to go. And then you start from all the way back. I feel like this is probably some like mentality or something that I don't know the name of, or that I'm not aware of yet. But it's like, what's the final place, and then start all the way from the beginning and just go from there. So every time that, because stuff happens in life, like shit happens. So you want to update and actualize and see, like, okay, is there new information? There's stuff like that, so that you can adjust the journey, and you can adjust the route to get to this place. Goals and all this stuff is just like, think of it as like like the gas stations to get there. It's like, okay, this is one thing I will need, and this is one place that I want to get to on the way to get to this vision and stuff like that. And I think the other reason why I bring this up is, at least for me, and look, I'll take this. I'm very privileged to like have water, like have access to like clean water in like under a minute. Um, yeah, I'm like a minute away from clean water. I'm not like 6 7 hours away from clean water, or even weeks. I got a house, I got light, I got computer, like I what's it called? Yeah, I got like a bunch of stuff. Um so in some way, like, another thing is like, everyone who can see this, you're already a billionaire, you just don't own up to it. Like, you kind of already won like the lottery of so much privilege, stuff like that. And most likely your parents didn't have like all this lucrative stuff. They kind of had to do whatever the first job that they found, or maybe they had something in line. So like, let's say let's say your grandpa was like a worker at the farms, then your dad might do something similar to that. Or maybe he was like a farmer, then your dad's going to be a farmer. So it's kind of like there was already a purpose kind of already set. um I wouldn't say not exactly, but it was like kind of like, like, this is like a good path for your parents. Like, this is a good purpose here. So in some way, you're already a billionaire, because billionaire, even though you don't up to it, is because you are probably the first one in your family to kind of decide what you want to do. Like, think about it. You're kind of like God. You can pretty much do whatever you want. Uh, you can pretty much do whatever you want. You can do a physics major. You don't have to work at a farm. You don't really have to like do the first job. You don't have to like do labor to put bread on the table. Like, you can do whatever you want. You can be even a damn streamer if you want. And I think that's also why I have these doubts, and maybe other people do. I guess they're just not putting it out in public. Is we're like the first generation to have this such independence because we weren't kind of really given one at birth. Like, you know what I mean? We didn't really have like limitations. And if you can see this, you kind of don't really have any limitations in terms of what I know. So in some way, you're already a billionaire. You just don't know. You just don't own. You just don't own it. You just think you aren't. So in some way, that kind of just leaves us there to navigate. Like, okay, what are we gonna do with our lives and such? Because the fact that we can do anything kind of just stops us. Is like, then what am I supposed to do? And some way kind of leaves us like, at least for me, what I felt for a good amount of time is like I will always feel like there's this shadow of my ancestors, because now it's like I didn't have this set path, and whatever my parents grandparents had to complete, they have already done it. So I kind of have like all the riches, which is water at like in under mid security, like their safety, electricity, actually like getting a decent education, um, stuff like that, like clothes, medicine, like food, and the list goes on. Um, so yeah, like yeah, in some ways it's kind of like, what is there left for me to do? So I think that's also why sometimes we're like, damn, what is my yeah, what is our purpose? Yes, tell me. That's what we are all trying to navigate. So if that's kind of you just thinking like, okay, what are we up to do? Then it's like, don't worry. Like we kind of technically are the first generation to have the freedom to decide what our purpose is. And that's the thing that stops us. Like we can do whatever we want. Um and yeah, it's just basically it's a look for meaning. And I think that, and setting this vision first helps you with this meaning. Something that my mentor and I, we were able to decode was decode was, we had this vision of what the objective was for either the individual or for their descendants. So, or at least for me, my dad, he was like, we want a better future for the family, because in our hometown there was opportunity, just not enough for us to sustain. So I came over here. So in some way, at the end of the day, it wasn't like concrete. This vision doesn't have to be set in stone, but it must be like, this is like the North Star. So whether I complete the journey or not, I'm still going this way. And I feel like my dad did a good job, because here we are. So now he has a little kid who can record stuff on this thing for free. Like this laptop I got from school, so free. That's unheard of. So in some way, you could start with, what's your vision first? So at least for me, when I see is with my vision, because now that my grandfather's and my father's vision is complete, let's start a new one. For me, what I see for my vision is like, I see a place where we have the basic necessities, all the basic necessities of this earth. They're not put in jeopardy. In my opinion, the biggest thing we need to do for this century is survive. It's the only way it is. So we need the basics, and the basics are always going to be the most important. And it doesn't just apply to this; it can apply to everything in your life. For me, at least in humanity, the basics are sleep, water, food, energy, knowledge, people. I think that's it. I think that's all we need. Um, yeah, yeah, like in the simplest way possible. That's like all we need. We can go very specific. We could say, oh yeah, educated children and stuff like that, and system like, but like in general, those are the 6 things. Obviously, there are derivatives to these 6 things, but like those I think are the most essential things we want to survive, or at least make sure that humanity stays. At least for me, I've grown a very found interest in water. So this like cloud of vision kind of boils down to, I want to see a place where no matter where you are in the world, we have some like accessibility to a way to get to clean water that can fit in your pocket, like if it was another iPhone. It is very cheap and it doesn't have to, like, you can use it for at least, let's say, 100 times, and the ability to like find water, filter water doesn't go, like, it doesn't lose its like capacity to, I don't know, filter for like, yeah, 100 tries, maybe like 3% or something like that, 3% filtration, stuff like that. And maybe like under what, 8 US cents. My aspiration was 3 US cents. So I have this written down in like this decade like goals and the main vision that I have, as in a way to guide me as I go. Because the one thing, at least for me, is don't, you can change your goals because they're going to have to adapt to the according circumstances. But the vision, it's not going to change. It won't change. I think that's that. Because at the end of the day, without switching this destination makes the entire like rerouting of change. And sometimes during that time, like without this destination, you don't really know where to go. You could say, oh yeah, you can like pick the roads and whatever, but it's like, where the hell are you going? Because having somewhere to go gives you more drive. It's like gives you more like push to like, okay, let's go there. Let's get it done. I think one day I should like take like one of those monthly reflections that I do and just put it here just to like show you, I guess, like how it goes on. Because I know that this is pieces of this journey that I would say that most people aren't going to see. So I guess I could make like a little bit of it public. Whether what's it called? Whether something big happens or not. So for now, I'm just going to under deliver and say this is what I see in my vision, and then go from there. I think one of the best things is make sure to like trying to under deliver. Shit. No. Like under promise and then over deliver. Sorry, me not speak English, but under promise, over deliver. I think that's the best thing you can do. So in terms of under promising, I'll just promise you that I'll build some cool things. That's all I'll do. Build some cool things with some filters. See how that goes. If I over deliver, hey, good, better. That's another thing. And the last thing is with these 10-year and 1-year like goals and stuff like that, like the goals are going to be the journey. But don't make like, try and put like big, like reasonably unreasonable goals. Like just try it. Don't go for like, small dick goals, or like, yeah, small dick goals. Let's go with that. Like, don't go for those goals, because small and big goals, like they both take effort. You gotta try. So might as well just make them like big dick goals, so you're willing to push through the hard times. So if you have a small goal, try and make it bigger. Like, as what's it called? Make them as big as you can, because doing that, you may not make it to that aspirational thing, but you'll definitely surpass your previous committed goal, which was this small dick goal, this micro dick goal. So do that. And that's why I kind of try and set myself is like, is this something that, like as I go through this vision or this final destination, this journey, this is something that I kind of want to do. Like this is something that I'd be committing my life to, because in some way, like my parents and probably yours as well, they did commit to getting a better life out of this. So I think that what's it called, makes more sense to have that I guess this vision or this meaning get you going. Um, but yeah, that was like the main points in the combo. So if you like to take this as motivation, I guess go ahead. But that's that. So yeah, that was pretty much that. I'm thinking of like um probably like when I have the time to like put one of the monthly OKRs, these like these monthly like goals planning, and show you like how it works and stuff like that. How, and I guess like how I think on how it's like it works and stuff like that, and maybe you can give me feedback on there as well. So that you probably implement this again idea and try and use it for yourself. But I'll end it with here, like try and plan for like the decade, like like try to have make sure that your vision is in decades, not months, not years. Try and think in decades, because I think there you'll just be so much more. The the search for meaning is going to last way long, and you're already a billionaire. You just don't own up to it. You get to decide what your meaning is in some way. It's not kind of really predestined or like predetermined. So make sure that this vision is very big, not little dick, big dick. See y'all soon.